Hello there everybody! I just want to start off by saying I'm really sorry that it took such a long break from YouTube. The beginning of April I got into a car accident that totaled my car and I had a few injuries, so I had to recover from that, and then I had 2 jobs and school to deal with, so adding YouTube on top of that was just a little bit too much for me to handle, so I decided to take a break from it. But now I am on summer break, and so I will be making videos again and posting them every Thursday. So yeah, today I am graduating college. Today is the big graduation for the entire university, and then tomorrow morning is my graduation just for my college within the university. I'm graduating from the University of Arizona, and so I decided to do a get ready with me just for this graduation today. It's going to be really, really hot. It's supposed to be 102 today, and then we're going to be down on a turf football field with metal stadium all around us. So I kind of did my makeup keeping that in mind. I wanted a super strong highlight just to be super festive. Our colors are cardinal red and navy blue, so I did a red lip. And then hopefully I'll be able to vlog through today and tonight because we are having some drinks before the commencement, and then I will do some vlogging at the actual graduation. There's supposed to be like a laser show and fireworks and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And then afterward we're gonna go out and celebrate. So I will take you along on this journey. We'll start out with this nice little get ready with me. I did a talk through, which I have never done on my channel, so bear with me if it's not that good. I'm gonna try and just feel it out because I've always done voiceover. So if you like the talk through style video, like this video and let me know down in the comments. So without further ado, let's get started. So first I'm going to use the Korres Anti-Aging Primer. This is a sample from Sephora. It smells kind of lemony, and really it's just moisturizing. I like to use it as a moisturizer. So next I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. I'm almost out. Look how skinny my bottle is. This stuff is great. It's super mattifying and it fills in all of your pores, so it makes a great base for foundation. Foundation will only look as good as the skin that's underneath. So I'm going to put this mostly in my T-zone, especially around my nose where I have some bigger pores. Because it's going to be so hot and sweaty and just probably really nasty, I want a foundation that is not going to budge. So I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This stuff does not move off your face. Even if you have very oily skin, this stuff is incredible. So I'm going to apply this with a damp Real Techniques beauty sponge all over my face. And you just press this into your skin. Don't swipe. To cover some of the darkness under my eyes, I'm using the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector before I put concealer on. And I apply this with a Bare Essentials Max Coverage Concealer Brush. It's just kind of like a paddle brush. I've had this thing probably since middle school, so I'm just going to put this right on the inner corners of my eye and down here. This pink color of this pink, like peachy kind of color of this product helps cancel out bluish or purple tones of pooled blood under your eye or the dark circles. And same on the other side. This product is also very moisturizing. It's a really good primer for concealer. Alright, and before I put concealer on, I'm going to tap this out with that same Real Techniques Complexion sponge. For concealer, I'm using the Makeup Forever Full Coverage Concealer in the shade one. And I'm going to use the same Bare Essentials brush, or Bare Essentials brush to apply this. So I just put a little drop on there. I start at the inner corner of my eye and I work down the side of my nose and then under my eye, back toward my temple in a triangle shape. This shape helps brighten and lift the face. I also put some on my eyelids to conceal any veins or discoloration. It also is good as a primer for eyeshadow. Blending this out with the pointy side of this sponge. And once again, I'm just tapping it. You never want to swipe. Alright. So now I'm going to do the same on the other side. To set my under eye concealer in place, I'm going to set it with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I have some in the lid here. And I'm going to just quickly tap it out to make sure all the little creases are blended. And then I just tap that powder right under my eye. Back and forth. Alright, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Make sure the concealer hasn't set into any creases. And then tap on some powder. And then for my eyelids, I just tap to make sure it's all good. And same thing, just tap it on there with the beauty sponge. And on the other side. Then to set the rest of my face in place, I am using the CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder. It comes in a little cup like this, and I am pretty much out here. And an Eco Tools powder brush. To do this, I just press it onto my skin. I'm using a lot of powder because that'll help set my foundation. Make sure I don't get oily or have any issues with sweat or anything like that. Just tapping this all over, even down onto my neck a little bit. My mom just told me the other day that powder in the air like this, makeup powder, causes lung cancer. She worked at Revlon, I don't know for how long, not very long, when she was younger. And the ladies who worked in the powder room got paid more because it was a known risk that you could get lung cancer. So if you're worried about that, maybe exhale while you're doing powder. I never knew that, so that's kind of crazy. Next, I'm using the Benefit Hoola Bronzer, one of my favorites. And I'm going to contour first using this mini Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush. I found this in my dresser at my parents' house and thought that the shape, show it to you there, it's really tiny, and I thought that that would be perfect to get right under your cheekbone right there, and sure enough, it is. And I've been using this probably for a month, maybe a month and a half, every time I contour. So I just swirl it on in there and find the bottom of your cheekbone. Start to carve it out. Putting powder on before you contour or bronze helps blend it out so much. I cannot describe to you. If you just go straight from a liquid foundation to trying to bronze, it can get kind of like chunky or it won't blend out smooth. But as you can see there, I barely blended for 10 seconds and it's flawless. So, tip of the day, powder your face if you want a flawless blush and bronzer, everything to blend out seamlessly. So I'm going to do the other side. Now I'm going to, just with whatever's left, lightly bronze along my jawline. This will help it look a little bit more slim. And at the bottom of my chin there. That darker shade will make it look like a shadow, just so it looks a little bit more sharp. And then I'm going to bronze along my temples. So to do this, I'm using the Morphe M439 brush. This is actually a foundation brush, like a liquid foundation buffing brush, but I like my beauty sponges so much better, so I just like to use this to blend out bronze or contour. So I just swirl it in there, and then I tap this right up on my hairline where the sun would naturally hit my forehead. And the other side. Doing this also helps your hairline look a little bit lower. If you have a big forehead, kind of like me, then I recommend doing this. And then I like to just conduct these a little bit so it doesn't look so intense. Alright, and then last but not least, using the Bare Minerals tiny little brush, I'm just going to tap it in there a few times, just a little bit, and then bronze the tip of my nose underneath, and then right along the sides of my nose all the way up to my eyebrow. This makes your nose look smaller and more straight. You're basically contouring it, but it also balances out the rest of the contour. Alright, so one last step, taking this powder brush and blending everything together. So, time for blush. I think a corally blush would look really pretty for spring-ish summertime that we're in right now. Arizona's kind of in a transition period, I guess. Technically it's spring, but it feels like summer. So I'm going to use the Lorac Pro To Go palette and use the coral shade right here with a Sigma F40 large angled contour brush. Just tap it right in there. I like to apply my blush. It really depends on your face shape, but for me, I like to start back here and work right above where I bronze / contoured. Just tap, tap, tap. And then I also like to put some on the apples of my cheeks. So as you can see, that just added a nice little flush of color. Gave some life back to my face after blinking it out with that full coverage foundation. And then once again, I just use this powder brush, kind of swirl everything together. Make sure everything's balanced. And then last but not least for the face, I'm going to highlight. Tonight there's going to be laser shows and fireworks and all kinds of exciting things, so I want my highlight to be next level, alright? I'm going for it. So I'm taking my Morphe M501 brush with some Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I'm going to spray that on there to just get it a little bit wet. I'm using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder. Sorry, in the shade Champagne Pop. So I'm going to tap this in here and like rub it in here. Yeah. A little bit on the apples of my cheeks. Swing it around and put some on top of my brow. Okay. A little bit on the tip of my nose. Cupid's bow. And time for the other side. This is not very wet anymore, so re-wet it. Rub it in there again. And okay. Loving it. So now that we have the skin done, I like to do my eyebrows next. So I'm using the Sephora retractable brow pencil in the shade either Rich Chestnut, which I'm like almost out of, and then I'm going to switch over to Midnight Brown. You know what? I'm not going to go through my eyebrows. If you guys want an eyebrow routine, leave a comment down in the description, not in the description bar, in the comments below. Leave me a comment. How about that? Leave me a comment below and let me know that you want me to do an eyebrow routine, and I can do that, because unless you want to watch just eyebrows, it's kind of boring. So I'm just going to skip right to the next part. Okay, so I was not really going for such a bold brow, but sometimes the brows just force you to do it. So they look kind of crazy right now because I don't have any other eye makeup on, but let's get to it. Alright, so then on the rest of the eyes, I'm going to go relatively natural because I'm going to do red lips for the U of A. This color, I don't know if they have names. I don't think this has a name, but it's sort of pinky, neutral color. And I'm using this with a Morphe M330 brush. Just going to blend that through my crease. Just nice and blown out and blended. Alright, same thing on the other eye. Taking a lot of this, it's not super pigmented, so I'm like really packing it on my brush here. So, you can't really tell that much, but it's just a nice little sweep of color. And then using a Morphe M441, this kind of has a little point on it. I'm going to take that same color and sweep it beneath my lash line, my lower lash line. I want this to be a little bit darker, so using the Lorac Pro To Go palette, I'm going to take the color Cafe, which is this one right here. It's just a matte sort of brown color. I'm going to sweep that through the crease in the outer corner using that M441 brush. 411? 411, not 441. And I'm blending it out with that same M330. I like that a lot better. It adds a little bit more depth. For eyeliner, I don't want to use a cream product because it's going to be so hot that I know it'll transfer up onto my, oh, I forgot something. Brow bone highlight, am I right? For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use an e.l.f. professional eyeshadow brush. It's just like a little paddle brush with champagne pop to match my cheekbone highlight, and just add that right there. Awesome. Okay, now back to what I was saying. So, I don't want to use a cream eyeliner product because I know in the heat with sweat and all that fun stuff, if there's misting fans like they have down on football fields, it's just gonna go up onto, it's gonna transfer onto my lid, especially since I have hooded lids. So I'm going to use a liquid eyeliner that I know works for me, and this is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. This says that it's waterproof. This stuff is awesome. It has a great brush. I'll show you here. It's actually a bunch of hairs, but they go up to a nice little point. And I'm just going to do, should I do a wing or not? I think I'm just going to do a line. No wing, or if a wing, just a very, very tiny one. Because I already have bold brows, so I don't need a big wing, and I'm going to do red lips. So, let's see if I can get this on camera. Okay, so I just did a simple line on both sides just to make my lash line look more thick and my eyelashes look more full. So, I'm weird and like to do eyeliner, lipstick, then mascara. I don't know why, but I just do. It's what I always do. Sorry, my eyes watering. Starting with MAC lip liner, lip pencil in the shade Whirl. I'm going to line my lips. Now I'm going to use KitKatBeauty liquid lipstick in the shade Outlaw. This is a true blue red. That's what they call red when it's like just pure red. So, apply this. Really, all I have left is eyelashes. I am not going to wear fake eyelashes. I could not be bothered to have these big ass things in the heat like that. So, I'm just going to put on mascara and call it a day. So, for my eyelashes, I am going to curl them using my Revlon curler. And then for mascara, I'm first using the Voluminous Butterfly Wings mascara. It looks like this in Blackest Black Waterproof. Waterproof mascara will keep your eyelashes in the best curl ever if you curl them. So I use this one first to hold the curl, and then I use the Voluminous Million Lashes Excess to add volume and finish them off. So let's get started. So for my lower lashes, I'm going to use the Ulta Amped Lashes, and I got the color black brown on accident, and I just found that I like how it looks on my bottom lashes. So that's all I use this mascara for. And it has a nice little tiny wand. So, ooh, whoopsie. It has a nice little tiny wand so I can get right in there. Alrighty, and that is my makeup complete. Do I look like a college grad?